If you're a hip-hop fan, you don't want to miss your chance to get the hottest ticket in town. The stage is set for a 2-day concert series to celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. On October 6th and 7th on the National Mall in D.C., Public Enemy and Ice-T will headline the national celebration of hip-hop. The Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis Blow will also appear along with many other hip-hop stars. Tickets are free, but first come, first serve. For more information, go to nationalcelebrationofhiphop.com. On the list of performers for that concert, Roxanne Shante, who's one of many female MCs who have been critical to the culture. And a lot of those MCs have not gotten proper credit for their contributions. A new Netflix documentary called Ladies First aims to change that.
We have stood back up, and we'll always keep standing back up.
The beautiful thing about where we are right now, Black women in hip-hop are controlling their narrative in a way we've never fathomed.
Dream Hampton is the director behind Ladies First, a story of women in hip-hop. She, of course, also made the legendary documentary Surviving R. Kelly. Dream Hampton joins me now. She's a filmmaker, executive producer, writer, and one of my oldest friends. I love her to death. Welcome to the Griot, Dreamy.
Thank you, Teray. How are you?
Why is it that female MCs tend to get less respect than the male MCs?
I don't know. Tell me, Teray. Why? It's not like they haven't been critical from the outset. I love this section that we have where Shah Rock, it was in the episode that I directed, episode 3. I was EP across all 4 episodes, where DMC talks about using the famous echo that we come to know him for after hearing Shah Rock do it. So he's talking about an aesthetic choice that came to define him. And he's citing, which is a beautiful Black feminist principle, he's citing Shah Rock as the inspiration for that. We need more of that.
That's beautiful. You know, we are now seeing a large number of successful female MCs. It's really a great moment for female MCs right now. Why do you think we're now seeing so many female MCs be successful?
You know, that was what was exciting to me about doing this project, because while the story of women in hip hop is not like, it's not a straightforward, triumphant one. It's not about like awesome representation all the time. It's certainly not about equity. There's been a ton of erasure, as you just alluded to. But this moment in hip hop, I've never seen anything like it. These women belong to themselves. And you remember when you had to belong to a crew, when Lil' Kim belonged to Junior Mafia and was co-signed by Biggie, when Eve belonged to the Rough Riders and was co-signed by DMX, when Foxy kind of belonged to the firm and was co-signed by Nas and AZ, when Miss Melody, we can go back to another generation, when MC Lyte was co-signed by Milk D, you know? Latifah kind of had it the other way around, but she's an exception in every way and always has been. So in this moment, I don't know who Cardi B belongs to. I know that she chose her husband, but I don't remember some cosign when she came out, you know? Nicki Minaj may have started out with, you know, her New Orleans brothers, but she quickly, you know, eclipsed that whole situation. So we've never seen a moment like that. I don't know who Meg Thee Stallion, what crew she belongs to. And so this is a wildly exciting time for women in hip hop, as far as I'm concerned.
And Lotto and Ice Spice and Coi Leroy. There's a lot of sisters out there making a lot of noise. I know how much you love hip hop going back to the beginning. And I know how politically educated and deep you are and how pro-woman you are. And I've talked with you and a lot of other sisters about how it's been a struggle to love hip-hop despite the misogyny. What is that journey like?
That was my struggle in my 20s and maybe into my 30s. I don't love hip-hop anymore, you know, newsflash. I tweeted it 900 million times. And I stopped loving hip-hop a long time ago. I grew up and it didn't. But I am encouraged to see what's happening with women in hip hop. I know that there are younger, you know, female fans and women and femme-identified folks who are anti-misogynoir, who are still in here trying to hold people accountable and be critical in this moment with whatever is happening now in hip hop. But that's not my struggle anymore. I just wanted to work on this project to help set a ton of records straight, to give these women their flowers, and to do it in a nuanced way, to talk about, how complicated this is and has always been.
One of the issues that you dive into that I love, because there are a lot of great important sections when you talk about the whole thing about people talking about women rappers getting rhymes written for them and how women rappers have to say, I wrote these rhymes. And we both know there's plenty of guys who don't write all their stuff, who have other people writing for them. Some of them have been open about it, but it seems to be this thing that male fans use to discredit the female MCs. Like, well, she ain't really right, and you weren't in the studio, you don't know that she didn't do that, but that's a constant thing, and you really tackle that in this.
Yeah, we did take that on. I can think of a couple of MCs who wrote for the men in their crew. I mean, Lauryn Hill comes to mind.
Right.
There's this idea that not hip hop, because B-girls were among the first, if you consider hip hop a culture and you look at B-boying and B-girling as one of the foundations that came before MCing. But once hip hop becomes what Trisha Rose called the cultural arm of capitalism, and we focus almost strictly on the MC, then there becomes this idea that this is a male space and that women come here as a fluke, or they shouldn't be here. And so this idea of questioning, and this isn't just the MCs, by the way, this is us as journalists, this is, all kinds of women in the space, the executives. I wish we could have dug into more of the women who create the ecosystem in the industry of hip hop. I can think of several executives, Rhonda Cohen, Tracy Waples, obviously Sylvia Rhone, who yeah, she gave us Missy Elliott, Mona Scott is a huge one, Busta and Missy in terms of management. So, there are Stephanie Gale, from Columbia. But go ahead, Trey.
No, I mean, you're the EP and the director of this, but you belong in this history, and I'm watching it going well, we should be talking about Dream's own contribution as a filmmaker and a writer. And then we almost start to cry when our friend Kierna is Dream Hampton made space for me and for so many people. And they talk about what you did around writing in favor and in support of Dee Barnes and other people. You've been part of this history as well. So, you need to be part of this documentary as well as the creator of it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for this documentary. It is fantastic. 4 parts on Netflix. Ladies First, the story of women in hip hop on Netflix. Don't miss it.